Well, tension in the Persian Gulf has officially hit a breaking point. The Strait of Hormuz, which is literally the world's most critical energy artery, is now closed. And as you can imagine, the global economy is just reeling from the shock.
Okay, so let's dive right in. How did we even get here? A military escalation back in late February didn't just kick off a war. No, it shut down one of the most vital waterways on the entire planet. And just like that, a regional fight became everyone's problem.
I mean, just look at this timeline. It shows you exactly how fast things completely spiraled out of control. It all started with targeted strikes on February 28th, which quickly led to Iran retaliating by closing the strait. And now we're watching the U.S. Navy in direct confrontations with Iranian ships right inside this global economic choke point.
So, you've got to be asking, why is this such a big deal? We're talking about a narrow strip of water, just 33 kilometers wide at its tightest point. How can that possibly cause this much global chaos? Well, let's break down exactly what's flowing through it.
First up, and this is the big one, energy. Almost a third of all the crude oil and refined products that travel by sea passes through this one little spot every single day. When that flow stops, you can feel the engines of the global economy start to sputter.
And it's not just oil. It's also a superhighway for liquefied natural gas. A full 1/5 of the entire world's supply goes through here. We're talking about the stuff that powers our industries and heats millions of homes. This isn't just about gas for your car, it's the energy that runs our factories.
Okay, but here's the piece of the puzzle that most people miss, and it is absolutely crucial. This isn't just about fuel. It's about food. About 30% of all fertilizers that are traded internationally move through this strait. These are the ingredients that modern farming literally depends on to grow our food.
And this map, wow, it just hammers home how completely dominant this region is. Just look at nitrogen. That's the key nutrient for stable crops like wheat, rice, corn, you name it. The Persian Gulf's share of global exports is just immense. This isn't just a market concentration. It's basically a stranglehold on global food production.
So, what's the result of shutting this down? Well, it's been nothing short of catastrophic. According to UN observers, ship traffic has collapsed by 95%. It's gone from a busy highway of about 129 ships a day to a trickle, just 6. The global supply chain has effectively been severed. So now let's talk about how this one single event has created what experts are calling a double shock. This isn't just an energy crisis or a food crisis. No, it's both, and they're feeding off each other in a really dangerous spiral.
And you can see that direct link right here. On one side, you've got the energy shock. Oil prices surge, forcing the largest emergency stock release in history. But that shock immediately fuels the agricultural shock. And why is that? It's because making nitrogen fertilizer requires a ton of natural gas. And guess what? Its price has also exploded.
And the potential human cost of all this? Well, it's just staggering. The World Food Program is putting out warnings that if this conflict drags on, 45 million people could be pushed into acute hunger. These aren't just numbers on a screen. This is about lives.
You know, it's easy to get lost in these big global numbers, so let's bring this down to the ground. Let's trace the ripple effect thousands of kilometers away to a country that doesn't produce its own oil, Ethiopia. This is where the abstract numbers from the global markets become a very harsh reality.
Just look at this data. It paints a really stark picture of the immediate fallout. Ethiopia's daily diesel supply got cut in half. At the same time, the price at the pump shot up by over 50%. The country's total fuel bill is now projected to balloon by almost $2 billion. That's money they desperately need for other things.
And if those numbers aren't clear enough, listen to this quote. It just grounds everything in this vivid, painful reality. We're not talking about a line on a spreadsheet anymore. This is a nation's transportation system and the daily lives of its people brought to a grinding halt. Waiting 2 or 3 days for fuel has become the new normal.
But this isn't just an economic story anymore. The fallout from this conflict is, well, it's metastasizing. It's spreading beyond the markets and the gas queues, and it's creating some really dangerous new security threats, opening up entirely new front lines.
So that really begs the question, right? Is this whole thing just about economics? Or, while we're all distracted by soaring oil prices, is something else, something more covert and dangerous, bubbling up right under the surface? And the answer seems to be a definitive yes. Security analysts are watching this pragmatic and frankly dangerous alliance forming between the Iran-backed Houthis and al-Shabaab. Basically, the Houthis provide the advanced weapons and know-how, and al-Shabaab provides the operational space.
Their goal is to turn vital shipping lanes into a permanent war zone.
So let's just step back and put this all together. The crucial takeaway is this. The closure of one 33-kilometer-wide strait has ignited a massive, cascading crisis. It's a crisis that now touches every single one of us through the price we pay for gas, the cost of our food, and the stability of global security.
And now we're hearing that ceasefire talks are faltering. It really leaves us with a final, sobering thought. While all the diplomats and world powers are scrambling to de-escalate the fighting, the economic and security viruses this has unleashed are already out there. So the real question is, can the world fight a war on 3 fronts? Energy, food, and security? All sparked by the shutdown of a single waterway?